Mr. Chair, you are live.
Thank you. All right, good evening, everybody. I'll call to order the regularly scheduled virtual meeting of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. It is Wednesday, August 4th, 2021 and 7:01 p.m. Board members present tonight are Vice Chairman Lawrence Harris, Dick Peterson, Kia Baskerville, and my name is Jimmy Praley. Also with us are City Attorney Michael Wiles and Deputy City Clerk Cynthia Gaines. Has the board had the opportunity to review the minutes of our last meeting, July 7th, 2021? And if so, does anybody have any additions, corrections, or modifications? Anybody like to make a motion?
I move they be accepted.
Jerry, second? Second. All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, the minutes will stand as approved. Before we start our regular business tonight, I'd like to state for the record that since this is a virtual hearing, anyone who wishes to submit public testimony may do so only by way of written testimony, which is to be submitted as part of the official record. Anybody who wishes to submit written testimony may do so by going to www.annapolis.gov/ABC. So with that, we'll declare the public hearing open. And the first matter before the board tonight is an application for a new alcoholic beverage license for El Chivo LLC, trading as El Chivo. We have an application for a new alcoholic beverage license, Class B4, beer and light wine, on sale 6 a.m. to 12 midnight, 7 days per week, by Brandon Bartlett for the premises known as El Chivo LLC, trading as El Chivo, 137 Prince George Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. So who do we have here tonight for El Chivo?
Mr. Chairman, Phil Dales, Liff Walsh and Simmons, 181 Harry S. Truman Parkway. I'll be representing Mr. Bartlett and Ms. Bartlett tonight.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Dales. And I see Mr. and Ms. Bartlett. If either of you are planning on testifying, if you could raise your right hand so I administer the oath.
Me too.
Okay, just in case you want to say something. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're going to give is true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. And if you could both state your full names and addresses for the record.
Brandon Bartlett, address is 602 Cutter Place, Annapolis, Maryland, 21409.
Caitlin Bartlett, 602 Cutter Place, Annapolis, Maryland, 21409.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Mr. Dales. Feel free to begin your presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So members of the board, good evening. This property that's seeking the application tonight is a stone's throw from Eagle Alley and Market House. We're at 137 Prince George Street. The application materials show images of the building if you're familiar with the area. And I would start by letting you know that the applicant here is seeking only a B4 license for beer and light wine. There are only 3 of those in the entire city, which of course goes to the public need for this type of license. And the owners of the business and the applicant licensees are here tonight and will be providing testimony to address the criteria for the issuance of a license. By way of background, Mr. Bartlett and Ms. Bartlett prepared their application and included all the right required documents, but there wasn't a statement to address the criteria. So we'll be doing that here tonight in the form of Mr. Bartlett and Mrs. Bartlett's testimony. So with that being said, I'm going to ask Mr. Bartlett to come forward and start with answering a few questions. So Mr. Bartlett, if you could get us started by stating your full name and confirming that the address that you read is located in the county, please.
Yeah, Brandon Bartlett. Yeah, and it's located in Anne Arundel County.
Okay, and you've owned that real property here for more than 2 years, right?
Yes.
Great, thank you. And for the board, we did submit the images of the notice sign being posted at the property, and Mr. Bartlett submitted an affidavit of mailing notice for all of the required neighbors. Okay, so Mr. Bartlett, you are a member of the LLC applicant that's on the application tonight, correct?
Yes.
And you're going to be an owner of El Chivo through that membership, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and any other business entities that you want to tell the board about in the city?
Well, I grew up in Annapolis. I am owner of Rise Up Coffee, which is located in Pearl Town Center. Well, in Anne Arundel County, Pearl Town Center, Market House, Arnold, so Baydale Shopping Center, and Edgewater. And there are seven or eight other locations on the other side. We're partners in the business. We've been going for 15 years. We're known for our customer service, and it's a good business. We're very involved in the community, donation wise, as well as having an open door for anybody in the community, no matter where it is, from Easton to Salisbury to Annapolis City. I also am involved in music, pressing strings. So we play downtown. Well, we used to a lot more. So I grew up playing, Middleton's and Metropolitan and all those great spots downtown. So we were looking forward to having a location, where we kind of,
Right. Makes sense. And maybe it would help the board to understand how those experiences with Rise Up and your music experience playing in the downtown area fed into or contributed to your thought that it would be good to open this restaurant and seek a liquor license for it.
Yeah, it has. We just love being a part of, I've always wanted to open downtown. So we started with the coffee shop. This building became available. So we had the idea to kind of grow the business into other aspects of the service industry, and being able to, provide jobs for, what's the staff at now in Anne Arundel? 80?
I think we're close to 80.
So we have, 80 pretty much full-time employees in Anne Arundel County. They stick around a lot, which is hard to find in our industry. So I feel like having a place that serves that same purpose in a different capacity is big for us, being able to be downtown.
That's great. And I'm sure for the board, I would proffer that's going to be a very positive addition to the restaurant community and the Annapolis public generally. Ms. Bartlett, you've got a location right there at Market House, as you mentioned. Your experience there must have informed your expectations for this other restaurant you'd like to open, which, albeit a little different, will be so close to your current location. What do you expect for clientele and customers at your new place?
I feel it'll be the same as Rise Up. We're very lucky to have survived through the pandemic, and we've grown stronger as a company. We have support throughout all our communities. We're very, like I said, we're very lucky, and people are very excited when we get into new things. Nobody even knows what is happening at this location yet, but they can't wait to see what it is. So I feel like
let's get to that though. Let's tell the board what's happening there, and just describe your new concept and what's going to be El Chivo, and maybe just after the concept and the basics of the menu, we'll talk a little bit about the layout and operations.
Yeah, it'll be well, a lot of our staff at our current locations, we run what's called Mad Eggs, which is breakfast burritos, different things like that. So that staff is very excited to help us out with the new concept, which is geared towards tacos, takeout, but also a small seating area inside and hopefully out. That has to go through historical preservation still, but very kind of low key, good food, tacos, tamales, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, and like with the liquor license, it would be, just in addition to it. We're not focusing on having people sit at a bar all night. We want it just to be an option for people to have with their food.
We plan for the building to be redone and remodeled so that it's inviting and I don't know how you describe rise ups, but Market House doesn't really show that because we're in the corner there. But in our other spaces, it's kind of clean, but you know, fresh, I guess, and open. And another thing I was going to touch on is with the pandemic, we were able to finally start online ordering with the shops, and we think that that'll be really helpful with the takeout aspect of this space as well. Since the space is so little, we want to be able to cater to the mids and everybody else in that area as well, and run a good, efficient takeout business.
So for the board, I would take away from that this group is accustomed to working in this the tighter spaces of the Market House area and the city dock, and they've been able to provide this concept they're describing to you at similar locations that have those restraints already. So they know what they're doing, and they're going to put the license to good use in a well-operated restaurant. And as I say that, I'll ask Mr. Bartlett or Ms. Bartlett. We can interchange to talk about the layout of the restaurant. How many seats do you have? Do you have the plans for where the kitchen's going to be, and how do you plan to operate the space?
Yeah, so currently the building is split into two separate spaces on the downstairs level. So the 41 Randall is actually, it was a real estate office. So our plan is to turn the real estate office into the kitchen, allowing for, I believe, 14 to 16 seats inside. And then hopefully outside another like probably 8 seats. So a fairly small, tabletop dining experience focused on, like we said, customer service and good restaurant experience.
And with that compact plan, you feel you'll be able to control operations to make sure there's no negative effects on the public?
Yeah, absolutely. We do it. The parole shop is 700 square feet. We run 600 to 700 people through that building every day. We know how to operate. Going through the pandemic a little bit. I don't know how to explain what happened there, but it was very like people were very receptive to the changes, but it also made a lot of people more anxious, obviously being in that, situation of having coronavirus and everything else going on. But it helped us grow as a company, like moving quicker, more efficiently, and also focusing on every view of the customer, being able to see the cleanliness and, in and out, didn't want to hang out too long. So it was kind of,
Yeah, that makes sense.
it was,
I would say to the board that one of the good things about the pandemic is it really was a pressure cooker for so many restaurant operators, and impromptu real world training, whether anyone wanted or not, about making adaptations and operating a restaurant in with restrictions we're not usually used to. So while we've touched on that kind of training, that informal training, I'll ask Mr. Bartlett, have you gone through the crowd management training and obtained that certificate as required by the code?
I have.
And what about alcohol awareness training?
Yes. I think it's,
And will you make sure that your manager and employee at the property is always at least someone is alcohol awareness trained?
yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you very much. And so whether or not you're able to be involved in the day-to-day business operations of this location in this restaurant, you do understand that as a licensee, you will be responsible for any violations the license will have to answer to this board for any of those violations, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I'll just ask for the record, you do understand the rules of the board and the rules which govern being a licensee in the city?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you very much. I will now go to Mrs. Bartlett just to cover some of those same basic questions for the record. And then I think we'll just open up the questions for the board if there's any outstanding issues as to compliance with the criteria for license issuance. Ms. Bartlett, could you just quickly restate your name just for clarity on the transcript and confirm that your address is the same as you stated earlier and that that's within the county?
Yes, Caitlin Bartlett, and within Anne Arundel County.
Okay, thanks very much. All right, and so do you also understand that even if you're not involved in the day-to-day operations of this restaurant, you'll be responsible for any violations that might occur there and have to answer to this board and be present for any of those violations?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I meant for a hearing on any of those violations, but I think your answer indicates understanding there. Okay, and do you have any past experience in the restaurant industry? And if so, could you just tell the board about it?
I
I'm
guess,
sorry, I'm referring to through Rise Up as we were just talking about it. I was addressing all those questions to Mr. Bartlett, and you guys are on the same camera here, so I just thought I'd ask you as well.
oh,
Yeah.
outside of Rise Up, is that what you're saying?
No, well, through Rise Up. I'm sorry for being unclear.
Yeah, with Rise Up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just been a team effort the whole time.
Yeah.
Great. So we've got 2 licensees who are experienced in the restaurant industry and will be operating this license safely and efficiently. They understand the rules. Ms. Bartlett, do you understand the rules of this board and the requirements under the city code?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so the licensees are going to be able to operate and manage this license in accordance with the city's rules and regulations, this board's regulations. They're both experienced restaurant operators. Please, could you both confirm you've never had a license violation, a violation under a liquor license previously?
No. Yeah. We haven't.
Okay, and with that, board, I will close our presentation, proffering that we do meet the criteria for public need, given that there are only 3 of these licenses, and that this proposal is a unique proposal from a well-valued restaurant operator in our community, and they have provided all the necessary information on the application, all the necessary documents, and have properly posted it and sent mailing notice. And so we'd ask you to grant the license tonight and open up for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Dales. If approved tonight, how soon would you want to pick the license up? How far are you guys along in construction and the build out?
Mr. Fraley, I apologize for not answering that. If
No,
we
not at all.
were a January 1st issuance.
January 1st? Okay. Just want to make sure we're clear on that. Okay. All right. And then Cindy, I see here on our checklist that there's a fire inspection that's still needed. So obviously, if the board chooses to grant the license, it'd be contingent on obtaining all of the required fire marshal inspections. Is there anything else outstanding?
Just those things that are listed there so far.
Okay. All right. So
Like a utility bill,
utility bill.
a CFA, and then fire inspection. And Phil, were you able to take care of that old legal ad that we talked about for the first submission?
Yeah, I passed that on to our office manager to pay the invoice.
Okay.
I'll confirm that it has been, as deputy clerk. And if you send me that checklist, we'll make sure all those are taken care of, and we would be accepting tonight of a license approval condition on us satisfying those requirements.
Excellent. I just wanted to note those for the record. I also would note that, as I've said previously, since we're in a virtual hearing era, people can submit written testimony. We did receive one comment. I don't know, Phil, if you're aware of this, from the owner or the resident of 149 Prince George Street, Sandra Huffer, and I just want to make this. I just want to put this on the record. She indicated that this is a residential street, and she strongly opposes the approval of a license that would allow sale from 6 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. The street is already suffering the overflow of disruptive (parentheses, noise, trash, and vomit) close parentheses, patrons from the existing bars in the area. Unlike other establishments, this is located on a residential street. Allowing another drinking establishment to be open until midnight, 7 days a week is a detriment quality of downtown life to the resident. Our town is better than this. So I just wanted
Was not aware of that letter. Let me please respond here. We appreciate citizens' concerns with regard to the application, but the characterization of this as a residential street it should be corrected in that this proposal is in compliance with the zoning for the street. And I think it would ease this applicant or this member of the public's concerns to know that while she may experience those types of consequences from the nearby bar area, this restaurant will only be operated until earlier hours of dinner, and there's not going to be late night activity or any kind of heavy drinking. Mr. Bartlett, what is your plan for hours of operation, please?
We were planning to open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the latest, but also kind of see how the dinner crowd goes and, you know, kind of adjust hours from there. Not later than 10. I don't have any interest in being a bar that's open until midnight or 2 a.m. or anything like that. Definitely earlier.
So, Mr. Praley, I would just say for the record here that in response to that letter, these owners and operators fully intend to be very good neighbors to their residential neighbors and are not going to be opening or operating a bar until late hours and will not have drunk customers causing that kind of trouble for the residents.
I appreciate that. I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to respond, and I wanted to make sure that Ms. Huffer knew that we were going to read her comment into the record. From the presentation, it does not sound like it is going to be a late night establishment with noise, trash, and vomit producing people. So no, I appreciate that. So those are all the questions that I have, but I'll turn it over to the other members of the board to see if they have anything.
I have nothing. I'll make a motion to approve contingent on the checklist of items that need to be addressed.
Before we entertain a motion, let's see. Mr. Peterson, do you have anything? Mr. Harris, anything?
I have none. I'm assuming this is the building on the corner, right, of Randall and, okay, thank you.
Correct.
Mr. Harris, anything to add? Any questions?
You're on mute, Larry.
Actually, Ms. Harris, I don't think you are actually on mute. It looks like your audio is not connected fully because now you're on mute there. No.
Mm-mm.
Do you have anything plugged into your headphones or anything plugged in? No, Larry.
Is there an option for Mr. Harris to type questions into a chat?
Yeah, Phil, we don't actually have the chat engaged on this.
Yeah, and Larry, if you don't have anything to add, you can just do a no. Or if you have a question.
Larry, it might also just be good to leave and come back and see if that helps.
Sorry for the delay here, guys.
No problem.
Well, while we're waiting, I mean, I have one thing to say, and that is I tried your nitro yesterday.
Oh,
That was good.
thanks a lot.
It was my first, one of my first times of trying the nitro. It's actually very good. So thank you.
A lot more sweetness.
Yeah.
Cold sweetness for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You guys have the nitro at Market Space? I don't know if, yeah.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Larry's back. Larry, are you able to say anything now? No, your audio is still not coming through.
Julian, I'm not trying to step on any toes, but what if we had a phone, a dial-in telephone?
Step away, Phil. Step away. It's fine.
No toes have felt stepped on right now.
Yeah, sorry. I said I didn't mean to step on any toes.
Bill's just being a problem solver.
For a few hours a day.
I was gonna say he does enough of these Zoom meetings. I'm sure that he's seen everything.
Yeah, they're different at all the different agencies that I work before, different hosting systems.
All right, Larry, I see you just came back again. Anything now? No, there's still nothing. Phil's recommendation was great. I don't know if you know the invite we have. There's a towards the bottom.
Larry, do you just want me to? Oh, okay.
I think he was gesturing to keep going, but
Keep going. All right. Well,
it seemed like, but
I think that's what he was. I think that's what he was saying too. So if nobody has anything else to add, do I hear a motion for this request for a new alcoholic beverage license, Class B4, beer and light wine on sale 6 a.m. to 12 midnight, 7 days a week, by Brandon Bartlett for the premises known as El Chivo LLC, trading as El Chivo, located at 137 Prince George Street, Annapolis, Maryland 21401, with the contingency that all outstanding payments and inspections be satisfied prior to issuance. Pickup date January 1st.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Any additional discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Stands approved. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, Mr.
Thank
Chairman,
you.
Board, City Attorney, City Clerk. I'll see you all later. Thank you.
See you guys. All right. That was the only matter for our public hearing, so I'll declare the public hearing closed. The next item on our agenda is request for a deletion of officer. We have a request for a deletion of officer by Historic Inns Beverage Inc., trading as Maryland Inn, located at 16 Church Circle, Annapolis, Maryland 21401, with the licensee to be deleted, being Homan Cull. Get everybody a chance to get settled in here. Cindy?
Mr. Chair, since both of these upcoming applications are just deleting someone and not adding, no one will be here besides the lawyer.
Okay, perfect. And
Text
I think
Alexis.
I see Leanne's here.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks, Cindy.
Mr. Chair, Leanne might also be having technical issues here. I see
Okay.
that she doesn't have camera and she's muted, and let's see if we can get her in here though.
guess we'll give it another minute or so, and
If nothing else, can we get Larry to call in by phone?
yeah, I mean, I'm happy to have him on board by phone if he can. I think Julian gave him the info.
Yeah, I'll reach out to him real quick and see if I can get him. I can't tell if he just got frustrated and left. I'll check out him right now.
Okay.
Thanks, Julian.
Leanne, can you hear us?
She does seem to have audio now, but
Okay. What do you guys think? Do you want to move on to the next one, or you want to give it another minute for Leanne to get on here?
I'm fine with moving on.
Mr. Chair, bear with me 1 second. We have
Sure.
someone who's called in. Let's see if it's Larry or if it's Leanne. Who is number ending in 7884? Who is this?
How you doing? This is Curtis Bland with the Naval Academy.
Okay, Curtis. Okay. Well, we're not just out here, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute you for a moment, and then when we get to that, I'll unmute you then.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Well, that was wishful thinking. All right. Sorry.
Can we move on to the next one, Julian, and come back?
Of course, I'll bring them forward
Okay. Sorry about that.
and cross our fingers.
Yeah, Leanne, if you can hear, we'll check back in with you after we take care of our next item, which is a request for an extension of licensed premises. We have a request for an extension of the licensed premises with consumption of alcoholic beverages with the service of food for Eastport Yacht Club for the Crab Chesapeake Regional Accessible Boating Cup Regatta After Party, scheduled on Saturday, August 21, 2021 from 4 to 11 p.m. located at 317 First Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. And who do we have here for the Eastport Yacht Club?
Mr. Chair, can I just hop in real quick one more time?
Sure.
We have one number. Another someone else is called in here ending in 5862. Who is this? Mostly because I'm just hoping it's Larry.
It's Leanne Schreckengoss. I don't know why my camera's not working.
Okay, Leanne. All right. Well, Mr. Chair, you want
What a
to
disaster.
and then we'll go to Leanne next.
Yeah, I'm going to take care of the Eastport, the Eastport extension first, Leanne, and then we'll circle back to you, okay?
Thank you. My sincere apologies.
No, not a problem.
Okay.
For the Eastport Yacht Club.
For Larry.
Hi, yes, my name is Robert Daniel McQuay. I'm the general manager for the Eastport Yacht Club.
And you've got audio tonight. Excellent. If you could just tell us a little bit about the event that you're planning on doing.
Sure. So the CRAB is the Chesapeake Regional Accessible Boating. So their mission is to get people with disabilities out onto boats. They do a fundraiser regatta every year. This is the 15th annual one. They partner with the Eastport Yacht Club, with Boatyard, and various other companies in the area. This event for them raises a large chunk of the money that they use in order to further their mission of accessible boating.
Okay. And is this the same setup that you guys have done in years past for this event?
Absolutely.
Okay. Any changes whatsoever?
No,
Okay. Have you had any issues with this event in the past at all?
none that I'm aware of.
Okay. Any questions from any board members regarding this request?
I have none.
All right, hearing none. Do I hear a motion regarding this request for an extension of licensed premise with consumption of alcoholic beverages, the service of food to the Eastport Yacht Club for the Crab Chesapeake Regional Accessible Boating Cup Regatta After Party, which is scheduled for Saturday, August 21st, 2021, from 4 to 11 p.m., located at 317 First Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
I move we approve.
A second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, your request is approved. Have fun.
Thank you,
Good
Barry.
luck.
Thanks. Okay. So we will now recall the request for Historic Beverage Historic Inns Beverage Inc.'s deletion of officer. Leanne, can you hear us?
I can hear you just fine, Mr. Chair. Commissioners, I again apologize for the technical difficulties.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. It seems to be a reoccurring theme tonight. Just go ahead and let us know what's going on with this deletion. You can begin your presentation.
Thank you very much. This is Leanne Schreckengoss with Royston, Muller, McLean, and Reed here on behalf of Historic Inns Beverage Inc. Home and Call is being deleted because he is retiring from the company. And due to COVID and staffing issues and everything else, the company has chosen not to replace him as an officer at this point in time. So Stan Kennedy and James Werner are now the sole officers of Historic Inns Beverage Inc. and will be remaining on the license. There's no change in the day-to-day operation of the facility.
Thank you. Any members of the board have questions, Ms. Schreckengost?
I think that's pretty plain.
It's pretty simple ones. So with no questions, do I hear a motion for this request for the deletion of Home and Call on the license for Historic Inns Beverage Inc., trading as Maryland Inn, located at 16 Church Circle, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And Mr. Chair, if I can hop in one last time,
Sure.
I have a very special announcement. I think we have Larry back. Larry,
Great.
are you there?
Yes, I'm on phone, yeah, ladies and gentlemen.
You're looking good, Larry.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right, good. It's good to have you back. All right, the next item, we have another request for a deletion of officer by Governor Calvert House Beverage Inc., trading as Governor Calvert House, located at 58 State Circle, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. Licensee being deleted is Mark Sharkey. And Ms. Schreckengost, you can go ahead and tell us about this deletion as well.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. Commissioners, Leanne Schreckengoss with Royston, Muller, McLean, and Reed here on behalf of Governor Calvert House Beverage Inc. Similar situation to the matter you just heard. Mark Sharkey is also retiring, and they have chosen not to replace him as an officer of this company. James Cohen and Stephen Cook are now the sole officers of Governor Calvert House Beverage Inc. and will remain on as the licensees. And again, there's no change to the operation of the hotel as a result of this deletion.
Okay. Sounds like it just about sums it up. Any questions from any of the board members? All right, hearing none, do I hear a motion for this, the deletion of officer by Governor Calvert House Beverage Inc., trading as Governor Calvert House, located at 58 State Circle, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401, for the deletion of licensee Mark Sharkey?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
this is two. All right, thanks, Ms. Schreckengoss.
Thank you all very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right, we are now going to combine items 6 through 11 on the agenda, which are all requests for special Class C one-day liquor licenses for the Naval Academy Athletic Association. We have 6 requests for special Class C one-day liquor licenses for the Naval Academy Athletic Association for the following events: Navy versus Marshall, scheduled on Saturday, September 4th from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. Navy versus Air Force, which is scheduled on Saturday, September 11th, 2021 from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. Navy versus University of Central Florida, scheduled on Saturday, October 2nd from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. Navy versus SMU, scheduled on Saturday, October 9th, 2021 from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. Navy versus Cincinnati, scheduled on October 23rd, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And Navy versus East Carolina, which is scheduled for Saturday, November 20th, 2021 from 1:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. All events taking place at 511 Taylor Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. And if the individuals here for the Naval Academy Athletic Association can state their name and addresses for the record, please.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Bill Givens. I'm the Senior Associate Athletic Director with the Naval Academy Athletic Association. And with me tonight is Mr. Joe Cook, Associate Athletic Director with NAAA. And on the phone, we have Mr. Curtis Flan, General Manager for Sodexo, who is our concessionaire at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. And our address, mailing address is 566 Bronson Road, Annapolis, Maryland, 21402. I would before.
That's a noise that I haven't heard before.
Yeah. Larry, you think you need to not have it on speakerphone. I think it was going on there.
Did he disappear again?
Nice. I think he rejoined. We'll find. Yeah, I think he rejoined the meeting to watch.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Sorry for the interruption, Mr. Gibbons.
One thing before I start my presentation, I would like to add that item 12, the request for the Military Bowl, everything that I say pertaining to the 6 home football games will also pertain to the Military Bowl.
Okay. I'm going to call that separately because it's a
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Bill,
understood.
but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Understood.
But you can go ahead and begin your presentation, Mr. Gibbons.
Okay. As you mentioned, we're here tonight to request special Class C one-day liquor licenses for the 6 home football games at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium for the upcoming season. Again, as you mentioned, we'll be playing 6 home games in Annapolis. With the 7th, we'll talk about the Military Bowl a little bit later. In the past, while we've had beer available in private tailgates, suites, and hospitality areas through catering liquor license, starting this year, we would like to sell beer to the general public from our concession stands throughout the stadium. As with such past events as the Military Bowl, the NHL hockey game, professional lacrosse, Nitro Circus, any number of events we do have a history for selling beer at the stadium. So this is nothing new to our operation and to Sodexo, our concessionaire. You may remember that we came before this board last year to get special Class C one-day liquor licenses for our home games last year, with the hope that at some point during the season we'd be able to admit the public to our games. That did not happen, so this will be the first year that we actually will be selling to the public at Navy football games. As with past events, full stadium events, as I mentioned, the Military Bowl, NHL hockey, and other things, the following procedures are our standard operating procedure, and we will have in place for Navy football this year. The stadium gates open 2 hours prior to kick. Our plan is to be able to sell beer again through concession stands throughout the stadium, and then also into in our VIP areas. All beer sales will end at the end of the third quarter. This is a ticketed event. You must have a ticket to get in. As is our procedure and Sodexo's, there will be 100% ID checks, and those served will be wristbanded upon proof of age, and they will have to show that wristband every time they order a beer. All of Sodexo's servers will be tips trained, and they are also empowered to refuse service to anyone that they feel has been overserved or is intoxicated or is acting erratically. There will be a limit of 2 beers per customer per transaction. Our security on site is a combination of Safe Security, our t-shirt security vendor, our soft security vendor, as we call it, who also work at M&T Bank Stadium with the Ravens. And in addition to that, we will have Annapolis police officers on site for security. They will be on the concourses. They'll be in the stands and the aisles, looking for those that may have been overserved, those who may be intoxicated, and absolutely making sure that there's no underage drinking going on. The entire stadium perimeter is enclosed by a fence, and ingress and egress is through those gates staffed by safe security. No alcohol is allowed inside the stadium, and absolutely no alcohol will be allowed to leave the stadium. Special Event Medical is our contracted medical provider. They will be, in addition to having ambulances on site, they will be manning our 4 first aid rooms on either side of the stadium. And should there be any issues at all, they would be the first responders to handle anything that may arise. And then Annapolis Fire is also on site, and they're the secondary responders. So we do have a strong medical presence in addition to armed law enforcement and security at our events, keeping an eye on the crowd or any issues that may arise. As I mentioned, we have a track record of serving beer at previous events, and we believe that we have the policies and procedures in place to accommodate beer sales in a safe and responsible manner. We pride Navy football on being a family-friendly event, and that's one thing that is important to us, that we continue that tradition, that it is not does not become an unruly event. You know, that beer would be served in a moderate manner and a responsible manner to maintain that family-friendly environment. If you've ever been to a Navy football game, you know what I'm talking about. We've got as many kids as we do adults at those games. Fortunately, in the past, we've not had any issues with alcohol-related incidents. I do believe that with Sodexo's trained servers, the limits on beer, 100% ID checks, security staff present, Annapolis police present, plus our medical staff on site help to prevent and mitigate any issues before they arrive. Having said all that, I will pause here and we'll be happy to answer any questions from the board.
Thank you for that very thorough presentation, Mr. Gibbons. I appreciate it. I don't have any questions. Do any members of the board have any questions of Mr. Gibbons tonight?
It was so thorough. No, I do not.
I do not.
I have no questions either.
All right, well, with no questions, do I hear a motion regarding the 6 requests for special Class C one-day liquor licenses for the Naval Academy Athletic Association for the following events: Navy versus Marshall on Saturday, September 4th, 2021 from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. Navy versus Air Force on Saturday, September 11th, 2021 from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. Navy versus Central Florida scheduled for Saturday, October 2nd, 2021 from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. Navy versus SMU scheduled for Saturday, October 9th, 2021 from 1:30 to 6:30 p.m. Navy versus Cincinnati on Saturday, October 3rd, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and Navy versus East Carolina on Saturday, November 20th, 2021 from 1:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. All events taking place at 511 Taylor Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland 21401. And this request will be contingent on you paying all fees associated with the issuance of these special licenses.
Move for approval, Mr. Chairman.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, your requests are approved.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. We'll turn to your next request, which is another request for a one-day liquor license by the Naval Academy Athletic Association. This is a request for a special Class C one-day liquor license with music by the Naval Academy Athletic Association college football game, the Military Bowl, presented by Periton and Tailgate Party, scheduled for Saturday, December 27, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., located at 511 Taylor Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland 21401. Mr. Gibbons, if you could introduce everybody who's here for the Naval Academy Athletic Association and put your address on the record again.
Yes, sir. Again, my name is Bill Gibbons, Senior Associate AD for NAAA. Mr. Joe Cook, Associate AD with NAAA. And on the phone is Mr. Curtis Bland, General Manager for Sodexo, our concessionaire. And our address is 566 Bronson Road, Annapolis, Maryland, 21402.
Thank you. And I know you had previously mentioned that this was essentially the same factors that you had referenced in the 6 requests that we just heard prior, essentially the same thing. What's different about this event from the prior ones? Anything?
Slight difference is that there will be a big tailgate that takes place in the parking lot that morning until gates open at noon. It's a 2-hour event. And typically we won't know who plays in that game until the first week of December, but both schools will host a tailgate within the entire perimeter, which is fenced in. Sometimes there's live music. Most times it's just a DJ. We make sure that the music is not pointed towards the neighborhoods of Admiral Heights or Homewood, that the sound is focused towards the stadium. We monitor the volume, and there will be alcohol served in that tailgate with the same procedures that we discussed for the stadium, and that 30 minutes prior to kick, that event will shut down. Alcohol sales will stop, beer will stop. Security at the gates of that tailgate will make sure nothing leaves the tailgate, and then the game starts 30 minutes later, and then everything I discussed in the previous events will be in place for the Military Bowl, with beer sales stopping at the end of the third quarter.
Okay, and this is really the same setup that you guys have been doing in the years past, right?
That is correct. That is correct. This, I lose count. This is either the 8th or 9th game that we've hosted with the Military Bowl.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you. Do any board members have any questions about this event? Nope. Hearing none, do I hear a motion regarding this request for special Class C one-day liquor license with music by the Naval Academy Athletic Association for the Military Bowl, scheduled on Saturday, December 27th, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., located at 511 Taylor Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. Again, issuance of this will be contingent on paying all fees associated with it.
I move we approve.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This one's approved too. Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the board.
Absolutely.
All right. Next, we have a request for an open to the public event, the first event for the Peerless Wrens Club. We have a request for an open to the public event number 1 with live music by the Peerless Wrens Club for a reopening celebration scheduled on Friday, August 13th, 2021 from 6 to 10 p.m. located at 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. And who do we have here for the Peerless Wrens Club?
Hi, everyone. My name is Keisha Kersey, and I'm a member of the Peerless Wrens Club.
Hi, Ms. Kersey. If you could give us your address for the record, please.
Yes, we're at 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Okay, thank you. And if you could just go ahead and tell us a little bit about your event.
Sure. We are planning an event with the Zydeco band. Zydeco is I don't know if you all know about it, but it's a musical genre from Southwest Louisiana, features a lot of accordions and guitars and a great beat. And the band that we are hosting travels up and down the East Coast every few months. And this will be the first time that they're traveling since pandemic. So we're very excited and wanted to host this. We wanted to open up this event to the public. The band has a really good following, and folks have been really excited and itching to get back out there to dance. So we want to open it up to folks. So we're planning it for next Friday from 6 to 10. Trying to think of the additional information. We will have security on site. We have 2 members. One is a former police officer with the DC Metropolitan Police Department, and then the other one is a current police officer with the Maryland Department of Natural Resources. So we do have security lined up and are just excited. We're looking at it as sort of a reopening event. Even with COVID still increasing, we have plans in place and protocols in place to mitigate risk for COVID. We're limiting the number of participants. We're not trying to pack out the event at all. We just want to open it up for folks that want to come and celebrate.
And you're only admitting individuals over the age of 21 for this?
Correct. We'll have members at the door that will be checking IDs and taking information as they come in. So we have that all set.
Great. Do any members of the board have any questions for Ms. Kersey? Oh, Dick, you're muted.
I have no questions. Sorry.
That's quite all right. It's all right.
I have no questions either.
I have no questions either.
All right. Do I hear a motion for the approval for this request by the Peerless Wrens Club for a one-day open to the public event scheduled for Friday, August 13th, 2021 from 6:30 to 10 p.m. located at 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401.
Move approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Congratulations. Your request.
Thank you.
Have a good time.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you.
everyone.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
before we move on to the next item, I'd like to involve Mr. Lyles. I believe the next item is
Surprise me.
Maritime Republic of Eastport. And for the first time in the last 10 years, I am no longer an officer of this group, nor I guess the only thing I do is answer questions when they have questions going forward. So I just want to know if I have to still recuse myself.
Are you still a member? You're not a member now.
Well, anybody who lives in Eastport is technically a member. There's no membership fees. There's no list of members other than the board.
Which application are you on? Because I see Eastport.
Maritime Republic of Eastport.
Yeah, this is the tug of war.
Tug of war.
Oh. And you said they ask you questions. What kind of questions do they ask you?
Who to hire for the porta potties, security, just things that they haven't been involved in before.
Okay. And were you an officer then?
Yes.
Okay. And you're not an officer now?
No, sir.
Do you have any direct knowledge of this event?
What do you mean by direct knowledge?
Did they ask you to questions about porta potties for this event?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so I think it'd be best to recuse yourself, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I recuse myself.
All right, sounds good. We do have for this, we'll still have enough. We have a quorum and everything. So we have a request for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property by the Maritime Republic of Eastport. This is an application for consumption on city property, including music, for the MRE Tug of War charity event scheduled on Saturday, November 6, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Locations City Dock, Susan Campbell Park, and Eastport from the end of 2nd Street to Severn Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. Who do we have here for the MRE?
Good evening. My name is Mark Hildebrand. I'm the current Minister of Finance for the Maritime Republic of Eastport. I reside at 440 Wagaman Circle, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hildebrand. Go ahead and tell us about the tug of war this year.
Okay, so this will be the 23rd annual tug of war event between Annapolis and Eastport. It's a charity event. We're an all-volunteer organization, 501c3. In 2019, when we held our last tug of war, we raised and distributed over $40,000 to local organizations and charities. And since our inception in 1998, we've distributed about $500,000 over all those years. So we've raised a lot of money and done a lot of good. The tug consists of 5 teams on either side, 33 tuggers on each team. The tug itself begins at what we call the crack of noon and runs until about 1:30. Then we get the tug rope off of the water as quickly as possible. We're coordinating with the U.S. Coast Guard, and we have our own vessels in the water. But the music and festival is only on the Eastport side at the end of 2nd Street. We will have music going from noon until 5 o'clock when we shut everything down. We have ticket and cash sales of alcohol and food, and age is checked at the entrance to the event. We have security through We Care and Friends, which is about a dozen people going around making sure everything's kosher and the right people are consuming alcohol. And we have a team of volunteers that help with all the trash pickup and just general things that need to be done during the event.
All right, so this is essentially the same thing you've been doing for the past 23 years. Okay.
Yes.
Any issues the past couple of years with the event?
None that I'm aware of.
Okay. Good answer. Any questions from any members of the board?
Nope, you guys do a great job. Thank you.
I have no questions, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. With no additional questions, do I hear a motion for this application for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property to include music for the Maritime Republic of Eastport MRE Tug of War charity event scheduled on Saturday, November 6, 2021 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The locations being City Docks, Susan Campbell Park, and Eastport from the end of 2nd Street to Severn Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
I motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman.
Do I hear a second?
Second. Yep, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, your request is approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Next item, we have an open to the public event. Number 1, request for the Eastport Democratic Club, an application for consumption, request for an open to the public event number 1 with outside beverage service on private property for the Eastport Democratic Club. This event is scheduled for Sunday, August 22nd, 2021. There's a second date here, Friday, August 13th, 2021 from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. located at 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. Cindy, is it, do we know if it's Sunday? I don't have, bear with me. It looks like it's actually just August 22nd. So it's a request for August 22nd, 2021 from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m., 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401.
Mr. Chairman,
Yep.
again, I am on the board of directors of this private club, so I recuse myself.
All right. Thanks, Dick. See you in a bit. All right. And Ms. Forney, can you hear us? Ms. Forney, can you hear us by any chance?
Mr. Chair, I've actually missed Mr. Forney is.
Mr. Forney, apologies.
I've asked him to unmute and turn his camera on, but nothing has happened just yet. Let's see.
He's working on it right now.
Okay.
Hi there.
Oh, there's the mouse.
Hi, Mr. Forney. How are you?
I'm good, as long as you can hear me.
Thank you, darling.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. If you could just say your name and address for the record for us.
Dana Forney, 1603 Bay Ridge Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
All right, thank you very much. Tell us a little bit about this this event that you guys are going to have.
Okay, we're doing, it's called a Yappy Hour. It's for the SPCA, trying to raise money to help the puppies and the cats and all that. And we're doing a music to outside between 2 and 6. We do have quite a few of us members tip certified, and also have done crowd control. Yeah, and we're expecting maybe 100 to 150 people at this, and it's outside of the Eastport Democratic Club. We're having a food truck and an SPCA truck outside in our parking lot.
And you're planning on having it from noon until 6 p.m. Are those the hours?
Yes.
Okay, and I just want to make sure the date's right too. August 22nd is what we're shooting for.
Yes, we are. That's a Sunday.
Great. All right, and I'm guessing this is pretty much the same setup that you guys always have for your other events, except you're going to have a mobile unit with dogs and cats in it.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. All right. How many people are you expecting to come to this event?
Between 100 and 150.
Okay. Great. All right. Do any board members have any questions of Mr. Forney about this event? All right. With no questions, do I hear a motion regarding this request for an open to the public event number 1 with outside beverage service on private property to the Eastport Democratic Club, scheduled on Sunday, August 22nd, 2021, from 12 noon to 6 p.m., located at 406 Chester Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Congratulations. Your request's approved. Have fun.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Forney.
Okay. Last but not least, we have the annual election of officers. Claire is not here tonight. Do we want to have this tonight, or would the board be inclined to postpone it to the next meeting when she's present and we hopefully have everybody present?
I was just going to make it simple and move that we keep the board as it is. You as president and Mr. Harris as vice president.
I agree.
All right, well, we'll make it simple. Motion has been.
And I've talked to Claire, so.
And you talked to, okay, all right. Claire's accountable for this too. Okay. So there's.
That's my motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Well, that was very easy. Thank you all. I appreciate it. That's all the business to come before the board tonight, unless anybody has something else.
No, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
For leading us.
I do miss the in-person meetings. So,
Yeah, is it ever going to come back? At some point?
I think it will at some point. They're requiring masks to be worn in all county buildings starting on Thursday. Courts are now requiring masks again starting on Thursday.
Yeah.
So I don't know how quickly we're gonna get back in person.
Right.
The county liquor board was planning on having its first in-person meeting in September, but I got a feeling it's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I know. I miss the in-person meetings too.
Is it, so it is all county buildings? Government buildings?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yikes.
Wear masks, vaccinated or not.
Yeah.
Starting Thursday. Cindy, do you guys have to wear masks again in the city of Annapolis? Is that?
Beginning tomorrow, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people in the Treasury building seem to think that we don't, but oof, it's going to be a rude awakening.
2 steps forward, 1 step back.
That's right. Do what we got to do.
Yeah.
Well,
Keep it on.
everyone stay healthy, please.
Yeah.
And I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Second.
All those in
Second
favor?
motion.
Aye.
Aye.
Stand adjourned. See you guys next month.
All right.
Good
see you
night.
next month.
Thanks,
Good night.
Cindy. Thanks, Mr.
Good night.